it makes sense. Deli cheese in a plastic bag, bread in a plastic bag, almond milk in a plastic jug, blueberries in a plastic carton, paper towels in a plastic wrap, peppers in plastic bags for your produce, meat wrapped in plastic. But they won't give you a plastic bag or a brown bag, unless if you pay for it, of course, because we're saving the environment. Anybody explain that?
A Canadian patient is the first in the world to be diagnosed with climate change. A senior citizen from Nelson in British Columbia suffered from breathing trouble and was said to be suffering due to the effects of climate change. Doctors said heat waves and poor air quality were responsible for her condition. Dr. Kyle Merritt was responsible for the diagnosis, which is reportedly the first ever to document a patient as suffering due to climate change.
If you believe climate change is really out here killing people, something is really wrong with you. And I always say, I'm never calling you stupid. They are. They're the people you believe in. You couldn't go outside because of the virus. Then you couldn't go outside because the unvaccinated didn't want to get the vaccine. Now you just can't go outside, period, without being scared that you could just die from climate change. That is crazy, bruh. Wake up before it's too late, y'all, while y'all still got a chance.
Sunday is our mark of authority. The church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. That's from the Catholic record, 1st of September 1923. In the November 18, 2008 edition of the Trumpet.com was an article titled "The EU Must Keep Sunday." And then went on to say, so it says the Catholic Church, and went on to say the Catholic Church wants Sunday observance enshrined in EU law. We know that climate lockdowns are coming, which will be Sunday laws. Basically, we're going to have climate lockdowns, and those will be basically where everyone is told that they have to rest on Sunday. Some of this is actually happening in Europe already. There are certain countries that have Sunday laws where you're not allowed to do certain things, like in Germany and Croatia, I believe. Some of those things are already happening. The Sunday laws are going to be mandated through legislation. Along with this will be smart cities, hence why towns and cities are being purposely burned down to make way for smart cities. Like what we saw happening in Los Angeles. And we also in a place called Paradise in America was burnt down, and then we also had Maui and Lahaina in Hawaii. Those were burnt down purposely, and I would actually go as far as calling that crimes against humanity, because they turned off the water in Maui and Lahaina, and also in Los Angeles. They didn't have enough water to fight the fires, but obviously the fires were started purposely, and some of the insurance companies are refusing to pay out as well. So these are all planned events. So I was just talking about how these towns and cities that are being destroyed, purposely burnt down, are being burnt down to make way for smart cities in which residents can be monitored and controlled. So we already have smart cars, smart phones, smart TVs, smart fridges, smart houses, smart appliances to control everything, to monitor and control everything that we're going to do. Some of this is already happening because we already have electric cars, smartphones like the one I'm using, smart this and that. Something else that needs to happen is that in order for human beings to fit into the Internet of Things, they are going to bring in transhumanism, basically where human beings will become like cyborgs, part human, part robot. And one of the ways that's being done is through vaccines, which actually contain some of them anyway contain nanorobots. So yeah, that's kind of just the beginning. So that's the real agenda behind the climate change hoax, is to bring in a Sunday law with the excuse that it's for the purposes of saving the environment and also allowing everyone to rest on Sunday so they can worship and spend time with their families. But actually, as I've read here, Sunday, the Catholic Church claims the Catholic Church, which is actually the fourth kingdom upon the earth. I've said that many, many times, and I'm going to continue saying it, because some people actually don't get it. They actually argue with me in the comment section. But yeah, the Roman Catholic Church is actually is just it's just pagan Rome with the garb of Christianity. It's the fourth kingdom upon the earth. They say that that Sunday is their mark of their authority. So at some point they're going to legislate that and force everyone to keep Sunday. And in fact, even as I think I already mentioned that Christians were actually persecuted during the Dark Ages for not attending religious services on Sunday. And Sabbath keeping was actually discouraged. And some of the things that they used to do, like there's a book called Truth Triumphant by B.G. Wilkinson, who was in SDA. He said that one of the things that they used to do, they used to encourage fasting on Sabbath to make Sabbath a burden, whilst punishing those who do not attend Sunday services. So this is the plan, because Sunday is not necessarily a bad day as such, but that's the day that Lucifer is picked for him to be worshipped, because that's the day of the sun, representing him, because he's Lucifer, the light bearer.